Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
Yep, here is Jay. And, that phone number you just got, 951-922-3532. I don't know if there are any open lines left, Sean, but I bet there might be. Just letting you know, we're going to have an expert on Medicare. This being Medicare season, when you get so, like me, tired of seeing Medicare commercials everywhere you go. And aren't we all worried about, what's his name from the Jets? What's his name, Kathleen? It's always on TV. Sean, you should know that. But you work, huh?
Namath?
Yeah, Joe Namath. We're so worried about him getting his free rides to medical things and food at home that we can't get away. But anyway, we're going to have Dennis Keithley. And Dennis is going to talk to us about Medicare in general, and hopefully there'll be some more questions about that. But welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio Show here on KMET 1490, where we do contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. We're also waiting for NASA Nellie to transfer from the International Space Station, and she should be landing here before too long. So please call, email, or visit drheckham.com. That's drhecm.com. And there you'll find all kinds of things. Also, let me make sure I put the phone number up here, 866-955-2233. That number was built especially for older people like myself without great memories. It's got a lot of duplicates in it. So you can also find us on the educatedretirementradio.com. Or remember, you can always just email me, bestloantoday, because it is, but actually the email is bestloantoday@gmail.com. And be sure to jump over to the YouTube channel where I'm getting everything plugged up there. And at the top, you'll see some more picture. Well, I'm in the middle of changing things, so, I'll let you know as things go. It's a professionally run website, so I get to make changes. I get to make, suggestions, but it's not just one of those off-the-wall do-it-yourselfers. So when you're there, remember, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see all of these shows. And what I do is I make it easier for you. I've got the whole show, I've got the first half separately, and then I've got the good parts with the guests on, if you're just interested in knowing that. 866-955-2233, where knowledge is power. And my day job is at the Loan Source, NMLS number 384565, DRE number 792630. I'd like to start this day with a couple of shout outs. One who is still with us, one who is not. So since Sean Connery is already gone, we'll start with him, and we'll start with Dr. No. He will always be, except for those people even older than I am, maybe, that read the books before seeing any of the movies, because the author did not think that Sean Connery was a good match for his character. I'm showing you 3 different laser discs from Criterion. And these have some really great audio commentary on them, which I guess they got sued over or whatever, and they stopped making these. So these are probably somewhat a little rare. So anyway, Sean Connery, you will always be our James Bond. So now, back on Earth, we have Daryl McCants. Well, if you have a good look at him, maybe you don't think he belongs on Earth. But in any case, Daryl has a show right here on this station called Southern California Business, and it airs on Tuesday at 3 p.m. And give it a listen to. I believe his co-host on his show is one of the Educated Retirement Show's repeat offenders, Yvette Walker, who does lots of social media stuff. So you can find her you can certainly find her on my YouTube channel. And I suggest you give a nice listen to Daryl McCants. He gave me a very nice shout out on his premiere show, and he is also a repeat offender, and we'll have him back also. Hopefully it'll go both ways. So just as a word of warning, if at all possible, I don't think you want any of your loved ones or yourself in a nursing home. Get prepared. Remember what happened to 2008? Get prepared, okay? We don't know what's coming. Over 70% of our population believes that the health care they now have will cover long-term care, and it does not. So today is, and Daryl will like this too, and so will Ron Siegel, National Nacho Day. And do I love nachos? Yes, I do. Anywhere from just cheese or what they call cheese sauce. There's a really good place I know of, I hope is open when I'm open. They've got poke nachos. And anyway, 1943, there were a lot of hungry gringos that showed up late at a place called the Victory Club just across the border. And the maitre d' with the I'm choking on nachos. The maitre d's nickname was Nacho. The chef had already left because it was late, and the next is history. And except that I'm trying to lose weight right now, I would be doing a share and be show and tell and be eating those nachos right now in front of you. But again, I'm going to give a little short version of what I talked about a week or so ago. Is it time to take your winnings off the table? I'm not talking about spending them. I'm not talking about losing them. Today, many older homeowners are over-invested in their homes, especially when you consider that such investment, it's not liquid. The truth is, home equity is just illusion on paper until it's separated from the home. It's not safe. It's not secure. Think about 2008. It's not safe all of the time. There are two choices you really have. One is you can sell the home. The other is, well, let me just say, call me at 866-955-2233. And just a quick reminder, you are listening to the Educated Retirement Radio here on your home planet, 1490 KM ETAM Radio, the mighty Met, as I still call it, and www.drheckham.com, DRHECM, or call me at 866-955-2233. Now, you want to know whose birthday this is. It's Gidget's birthday, actually, today. Sally Field was born the same year I was. Now, I don't think she's grown a beard yet, though, has she? I don't. Anyway, 1946, and she started with the Surfer Girl television series Gidget in 1965, and it only lasted one season. And the reason that it didn't do real well at first is because it came out before summer happened. And when the show aired, it became very, very popular as summer came into the world. That was followed pretty closely by The Flying Nun in 1967. She studied at the Actors Studio and earned her first Emmy Award as Best Actress for the TV film Sybil with Joanne Woodward, so you know that was big time. Next came Smokey and the Bandit, along with a relationship with Burt Reynolds. Anyway, she won the Best Actress Academy Award for Norma Ray, and she won another Best Actress Academy Award for Places in the Heart. So many more films, including Forrest Gump, and even played Mrs. Abraham Lincoln in what I thought was a great Spielberg film called Lincoln. I don't see that on TV or anything too much, but if you haven't seen it, see it. That's what I'm going to say. Now, one thing I think is pretty interesting, and this ties in a little more personally with me, is her mother was an actress by the name of Margaret Field, who starred in the classic 1951 film Man from Planet X, playing opposite Robert Clark. And just so you have a view of that, take a look at that face. Can you see that face, how weird that is, of the alien? Now, that alien turned out not to be such a bad guy, but some humans were. Now, this is kind of big, and I'm not sure to what extent you can see what on it. And since I have a 10-second delay, I won't see it unless I screwed it up afterwards. But there it is. And
Signed by Robert.
oh, it is signed by Robert Clark. Now, Robert Clark, when we met him in downtown Los Angeles, he turned out he has passed away since, but he turned out to be a mortgage broker like me, a mortgage lender. Here's his book, To Be or Not to Be, a film actor's odyssey. And what that means is B film. He did a lot of B films. But The Man from Planet X is a real strange one. And it's this, like I said, a space invader film set in the foggy Scottish moors, which is strange and spooky in itself, as a strange ship from another planet lands and a creepy looking alien who, like I said, turned out to be kind of a nice guy, causes panic in some humans and unfortunately greed in others. We love this film, and here is a model we got at Monsters in Motion. This is a model of the spaceship itself. Oh, look at lots of little details even. We also have a model of the man from Planet X himself, but it was kind of a far reach to get to this time. Again, humanity gets judged in this film. Filmed at the Hal Roach Studios in Culver City. It took a whole 6 days, and it was filmed on the set that was created originally for the Ingrid Bergman film Joan of Arc. Now, it was directed by Edward Ulmer. He was the set designer for Fritz Lang on 2 of his classic films, Metropolis and M. And I think most of us are familiar, no matter how much into film we are, those. He also directed The Black Cat, which is a really like a horror classic. Detour, which is a very low budget but classic noir. Daughter of Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, just to name a few. And I got a picture of him, actually, what he looked like when he was doing those things and what he looks like more lately. I can't tell you how old he might or not, be right now, but I thought those pictures were pretty neat. Now, one other thing about these pictures is that when I put ink into my printer, I forgot to take that little cellophane strip off the color side. Now, I love the way these looked so much, I didn't redo them, so there. But one more thing, Robert Clark and Margaret Field started in another science fiction film by the name of Captive Women. And that is a film I never heard of. I don't know why, because we all love those 1950s monsters and science fiction films. But what is so important about this that I never knew about is this is considered the first film to actually consider what the world may be like after a nuclear war. And that has got to be a real landmark. And I'm glad I learned of it. In fact, I'll drink to that right here. Coffee, of course. Other birthdays. Sam Shepard joined us in 1943 and left us in 2017. And he wrote 58 plays, several books and screenplays. And while tossing newspapers on his route from a 51 Chevrolet and working on a ranch, he saw an ad in the paper that he was throwing that said actors wanted, and I guess the rest is history. But let's just say he dropped out of school and rode around the country in a Greyhound bus as part of the Bishop's Company. That was the name of the company he was part of, putting on plays in churches all around the country. He was in more movies than I can possibly remember. And what I found out while looking into all of this is that he did a lot of writing also, and probably didn't get a whole lot of credit, but probably made good money. Anyway, he was right there, and he played name, the guy that broke the sound barrier, Yeager. He played Yeager, who did not go up into outer space. Many years ago when I was a big shot, I had the chance. There were four rocket engines in that X, whatever it was, and I had a chance to buy one of them and ended up not doing it, but so be it. Anyway, he was also in, I love this movie, right? Days of Heaven. I mean, that's the young girl, by the way, passed away not too long ago. But, and I don't know any details, but Days of Heaven was done by Terrence Malick. Another one of my all-time favorites, and I don't know if anybody saw The Tree of Life, and then there was the one about the Nazi occupation that came out last year. He doesn't do that many movies, but The New World, just to say a few. And our man here, Sam Shepard, also helped write screenplays for such films as, now this is actually a record special, 180 gram. I love, this might be one of my favorite Ry Cooder soundtracks, and he did a lot. But Terrence Malick did live in Paris. Actually, that's kind of funny because he lives half the year in Paris, France, and the other year on his ranch with cattle in Texas. But that's Terrence Malick. Zabriskie Point. Now, Shepard helped write this one, okay? And I guess I won't show it too long. Sean might get upset. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Zabriskie Point. Saw it again not too long ago. I am a fan of Antonioni of Blow Up fame, and Blow Up was a wonderful thing. He did some other ones like this one. And he did a bunch of other stuff. But I was very surprised to see that Shepard had been in on the writing. Ray Conniff, as my father used to say when he was around, Ray Gonniff, was born in 1916. He went out in 2002, and this was one of my father's favorites with so many personal memories for me. And it was, he also, let me show you, here's one other quick, I mean, this is so much memory for me, I can't hardly stand it. But some of you may remember Ray Conniff. And then, of course, we have Esquivel. Give me the other one, too. Other Worlds, Other Sounds was the main one I think we heard most of all. But I think I've got just about everything Esquivel ever did. He was big and when stereo first came in, so you know, when they'd have half the music group in one room and half in the other one. And, you know, he was just way over the top. But the Carpenters, he inspired others like the Carpenters, Simon and Garfunkel, Fifth Dimension, Burt Bacharach, which I think I showed you 100 albums of the other day. Also, it is Godzilla's birthday. And this is a record. It's a 2-record set of the entire soundtrack, not just the music, but every word in the film, the original film without Raymond Burr. And just for fun, there's, oh, hello, you're awake. There's some more. These are all in Japanese, but I love looking at them. Look at these pictures. I don't know why I should, but I think it's cool. What can I say? Okay, now, it's time for us to take a break, and I understand that NASA Nelly is just landing right now, so we will get to NASA Nelly as soon as we come back. We get joined with Dennis, and Dennis, too, will be able to listen to the exciting news from NASA Nelly. And in the meantime, do not go away, please. Take care, and we'll be back in a minute.
Check us out online at KMET1490am.com.
And welcome back to the Educated Retirement here on KMET 1490. You just heard an advertisement for Ron. Ron is mylender.com. He was my guest. Not only a lender, but a guest. Ron is my guest last week. And he is on every day, right, Sean? I mean, 5 days a week?
Yeah, he sure is at 6 p.m.
6 p.m., okay. Sometimes I'm on his show usually about once a month. And, you know, like, anyway, join the conversation about Medi-Cal. Now, unless you are Joe Namath, who doesn't need any of this stuff he's talking about on all those TV commercials. Kind of reminds me of how they have these super duper rich zillionaires, which they ought to get a reverse mortgage too, but you know, they're all on TV touting the reverse mortgage, which they know nothing about. Anyway, if you'd like a question for Dennis, anything having to do with Medicare, 951-922-3532. And we have just been notified that Nelly has arrived from the International Space Station. Yeah, she's using the very latest in technology as far as getting here. So I would say take it away, NASA.
It was November 5th, 1975. Travis Walton, a lumberjack, had been working with his crew in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near Snowflake, Arizona. While riding in a truck with his co-workers, they encountered a saucer-shaped object making a high-pitched buzz about 100 feet above them. Travis claimed that after he left the truck to approach the object, a beam of light suddenly appeared from the craft and knocked him unconscious. The other 6 men were frightened and drove away. Walton claimed that he awoke in a hospital-type room and he was not alone. In his own words, "I realized I was definitely not in a hospital. I was looking square into the face of a horrible creature with huge eyes, looked frantically around me. There were 3 of them. Hysteria came over me. He suddenly found himself walking along a highway 5 days later with the flying saucer departing above him. Following his recovery from the incident, he and his co-workers underwent intense scrutiny, including polygraph tests, which they all passed. Even the witnesses still stand by their story today. John Goulet said, "I know what I saw, and it wasn't anything from this earth." Kenneth Peterson said, "I saw a bluish light come from the machine and Travis went flying like he touched a live wire." Steve Pierce, "The light ray was the brightest thing I have ever seen in my entire life." Alan Dallas, "We couldn't believe what was happening. The horror was unreal." In 1978, Walton wrote the book, The Walton Experience, which became the basis of the movie Fire in the Sky.
And I know they're trying to do a remake of Fire in the Sky. The book, after the movie came out, with Maverick. What's his name? Maverick was in it. What's his real name? Oh, well, anyway. The book changed to Fire in the Sky also. And just one more thing. I mean, we've met Travis a couple times, and I believe him 100%. He is extremely intelligent and articulate. I've seen him as part of several lineups or, panel discussions, and he seems to be about the smartest one of the team usually. Just to show you one more thing we got at that same location, my wife was showing her photography also at this convention, and you can see it is signed by all four of the people who were a part of that television show called Fact or Faked, which I thought was pretty good. So anyway, let's get back to Medicare. And, this is Medicare season. This is the time where, if you're going to change it, if you're going to get it, this is the time. I think if you're just turning 65, and Dennis, you can chime in on any of this because I'm not the expert, you are. I think you can sign up for Medicare anytime in the year if you are just turning 65. Other than that, what are the open enrollment dates?
Well, the open enrollment dates are the 15th of October to the 7th of December. If you're turning 65, you actually have 3 months before you turn 65. When you turn 65, and 3 more months after that. So it's about a 7-month window.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right. And the key thing is if you're turning 65, you really need to sit down with an agent, whether it's me or someone else, but, look at your options. Because unfortunately, when I signed up when I was living in Orange County, I didn't know anything about it. I just signed up for one plan. It was okay, but I switched to another plan, richer, and basically I can see any doctor, go to any hospital in the United States. So it allows me that flexibility.
So do you think I can see somebody about turning 65?
Well, you have Nasa Nelly there. I think she can do the warp speed.
Yeah,
in
maybe
reverse,
on another planet, I'd have a better chance.
Back to the Future, Back to the Future. You have to find those DeLoreans,
So, so I want to make sure everybody knows we are not speaking about Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal is California's version of Medicaid, and that is based strictly, I think, on need. And I don't think there's anything except need that has to be called up for that. But that's not really,
certain income criteria. But it's basically for the people that really need it.
Yeah. So that is a separate subject altogether. So how, so do you think that most people change, let's say when they first do their 65 thing and they sign up for something, I did for sure. I made what I think is a mistake, and I just signed up for Medicare, nothing else, no advantage, no supplement. And I changed that down the line. So maybe you want to get into, I was going to ask how many people actually change, but what's more important maybe is to get into a definition of just straightforward Medicare And the two additions that, unless there's more, I know of two additions. One would be called a supplement, and one would be called an advantage program.
Right, you're correct on that. And that's why it's really crucial that when you're turning either before at 65 or 3 months afterwards, or even now, to take a look at the programs. One thing that's nice is on the supplement, costs a wee bit more, but it basically covers for almost all of your lab work, a lot of like an MRI that I've had a couple of, blood tests and so on, there's really no cost. Whereas if you're normally Medicare, you'd have to pay for that without the Advantage plan or a supplement. So it's really crucial to sit down with someone that really has knowledge and see what's best for you. Like your situation scan is fantastic for you. So it works well and they have good coverage. Also, you want to see the doctors that are in the network. Network is very important. What hospital you go to is really important. And each year things change all the time. It seems like this year they've added richer features. So that's why you want to see, also compare what you have now and what will be going in effect in 2021. Because what we can basically do is sign up people either now if they want, or wait till 2021. Will it be other changes? So go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you like the changes you see come 2021, you still have to wait till October, right?
Correct. Yeah, you have, or on a birthday date, but until 2021, though, then there's another period that runs 1 January to 31 March. So if you have an Advantage plan or supplement plan, you can make a change at a time as well.
Really?
Yeah. So if you don't have either of those, then you have to wait till the following year. But
now I have a supplement. Okay, I would go to an Advantage. I know, unless you tell me otherwise, if I plan to do a lot of traveling or anything like that. But I've had MRI, just one, and about 25 CAT scans in the last 6 months, and blood work every 2 weeks, and none of that has cost anything. Now, the drugs, on the other hand, some have cost quite a bit, and some nothing. But all of that, you would be in jeopardy if the only thing you signed on to was just the simple Medicare.
that's correct.
And I think the cost on like a supplement might cost a little more. I don't know. An Advantage program, I don't believe does. So give us shine some light on that, please.
Okay. The supplement, if you can afford a supplement, the supplement's the best way to go. Because I had an Advantage plan till I moved back up here, and then I switched to a supplement. For me, it's about $150, $160 a month, just depending on the carrier. We would look at you, depending on what would be best, based upon your situation. You can go from like 150 up to 207. Mine would have been like 207 for next year, but I was able to find another plan that was a lot less expensive. So it's still a supplement, still get all the bells and whistles. The only extra that you have to pay for would be like a drug plan. So that would be in addition to the supplement. Whereas an Advantage program, it normally does include some of the coverage. And Advantage plan is nice because it's better than normal Medicare A or B, because then you can go in for therapy. You can go in, particularly now is nice. They have silver sneakers, or it can be video. They have those workout programs. Now you can also have the ability doctory, where you can actually talk to a doctor 24/7 or a nurse 24/7. A couple of companies, depending upon the severity, they actually have a little thing that you can wear around your neck or on your wrist. So if you fall, it calls a number. So that's really great, for someone that's susceptible to falls or, missing things. Also, some of the programs are really rich. You also might include hearing aids, a portion, not all of it. And then you also have like dental care. So it really depends upon which company you go with. So it's really important to see what's needed for you. So, like if you have diabetes, you want to be sure now they have some programs.
That's me.
Yeah. So now they have programs, like either zero, depending upon what you have to have for diabetes, or $39 for injection. So they're making it more and more accessible to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you're in Orange County, your plan might be different than LA County or San Diego or Riverside. So it's really important, just like where I am now in Fresno, they just opened up Madera. So Madera is basically a 1 or 2 town or county for Medicare. And now they've opened up 2 new carriers. So, what one has to watch out too is sometimes your current doctor may not be in network. So you might have to find a new doctor or physician. Hospital is really important. Certain hospitals may not be under certain coverages. So I was just thinking about it. It's not quite as difficult as taking an NMLS test. We have to be licensed.
You do mortgages,
yeah, we have to score 90% on our exam to pass. And we have, I think, like every other year, like 20 hours of ongoing education, errors and omissions. So whoever is your agent, he or she has been trained. I'm just getting into it. I'm learning. If I don't know something, I'll get back to the carrier. But I work about 8 or 9 different carriers. So just depending upon the need for that person in the county, whatever the case might be.
Now, let's say somebody has more questions to talk to you about information. How do we get a hold of you?
Take my corporate jet, come up to my helicopter, come up to Fresno. The number is 559-917-4955.
Any other ways? Emails?
Anything? Oh, yeah, you can do email. My email is senioreducator@gmail.com. The advantage too now with enrollment, we can do it over the phone, or we can do a video. So, I will make house calls like we do on the reverse mortgage side. So it's really, now it's really not necessary, because most of the time you have the ability just to do it.
I know. People like to meet people face to face if they can, but that's just not here now. It's not practical. So if you're turning 65, no matter what age you are, this is the time to make changes. Even if you don't think you need to make a change, talk to someone like Dennis. Just talk about it. That's all. No obligation in talking to him. And, and just get as much information as you can. I'm not just talking about prices. Prices are probably a lot the same here and there and everywhere on different things, depending on what level of care that you sign up for. But the amount of knowledge of the person you're talking to, that matters. That matters a lot.
Absolutely. Just like us in the reverse mortgage area. Some people are just getting into it versus, your experience in the mortgage business. And you actually got me started 8 years ago in the reverse mortgage. But now
you're doing healthcare.
Well, I just thought it'd be a compliment to doing the reverse mortgage, because it's for both the 65, or actually reverse mortgage 62, or the proprietary or jumbo 60. But it's a 65 plus. It's still the the baby boomers. That is our niche, in the reverse mortgage in this. So I thought I'd just complement one another, so you're still the same market. So
yeah, but see, you see all that area above his eyes, that dome there. See, Dennis has enough brain capacity to learn about both. I don't, so all I can do is stick to the reverse.
That's kind of you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was doing something else before, so I had like 3 fingers in the poke, but 2. Plus right now, really for about 3 months, not even 3 months to a year, that you can focus on this.
Yes.
So this is the main time to really take a look at your options. Like I said, there are a lot of more features or benefits depending on what programs are available for you. So just because you have one plan now might be a benefit just to see what else is out there.
Absolutely. And because, I checked with you
Yeah.
Me, I checked with you, and you told me I was pretty much good. Exactly where I was,
Hmm.
with the exception of the possible dental situation. Dental is another add-on, and I can use some dental health because I've got a few teeth that are impacted. They're not infected or anything. I don't know if that's the right word, but they're under the gum. So as good looking as I am, I still drool a lot. Because of lack of teeth.
Because of
Also,
acid Nelly.
yeah, and can you imagine how much fatter I would get quicker if I had all those teeth? So
Well, it's
that's something.
buffet time, but they may not have buffet now. I know a guy
Yeah.
that I know here. He lost a restaurant just because he didn't have any outdoor covering.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really sad. But things are changing, and the buffet will probably be out. I know there's a couple of Indian reservations that have gambling places, and
Yeah.
one was really popular for a buffet, but they closed it just because of COVID. So
Yeah.
COVID,
Now let me warn you that if you do talk to Dennis, which you should, Dennis is my only mature buffet eater. Other people say, no, I don't want to go. I can't eat that much. But you know what? For the price, you don't have to eat that much and you're still doing well. And we used to, when you were closer, we used to go to a sushi place that was all you can eat, but they made everything to order. And you know what?
to me.
I don't think, yeah, sake,
Yeah.
but it was sake to me. I don't think I could do a buffet justice anymore. I have such a petite little stomach now.
Yeah. Well, remember, you like the Korean barbecue, so we did a
Oh, yeah.
barbecue. I know it's one of your favorite. The other
Yeah.
place there in Irvine, the Korean, but it has the hot pot where you put stuff
Oh,
in.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's nice. But and I think our favorite place was Garden Grove, right there where they had the sushi, sashimi.
Lux. There was Lux, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it was only sushi and then it was sakatumi. Had the
Mhm.
best quality of all that. And let me tell you, since my disease hit, now that I've got a second disease, which we're not going to mention because I'm not allowed to do that in the house, and we're going to be rid of it hopefully by the end of the year. I'd say we eat sushi no more than 7 days a week.
Oh, really?
No matter what else
Huh.
we're eating, it's always got an appetizer, at least an appetizer of sushi. And I
Wow.
know exactly what Whole Foods has, what Stater Brothers has. I have a favorite at all of these different places.
Costco. Does
But that,
Costco
but
have it?
but we're here to talk about healthcare so
Sure.
that you can keep eating sushi if you want to, or
Exactly.
whatever else.
And they
And
also have like, annual reviews. So some of the programs actually give you rewards for doing certain things like walking, exercise, having your annual visits. So it really depends upon your health level or where you would like to be or want to be or should be. So there's a lot of different features depending upon the carrier. And it seems like carriers are adding more and more things, and it's more and more competitive. So now's the time, to really look into it to what might be best for you and the best carrier for you.
yeah, and whether you're going to get a program, or as Dennis would say, a program. Dennis talks funny because he's from what state are you from?
I'm from a state called California.
Yeah. Talk to Dennis anyway, because he'll be able to at least set you out on knowing what to ask other people also if you want to do that. Very, very important. Don't be like I did. And of course, when I was younger, we never cared about health care. Now we have to. And Medicare is wonderful, but Medicare needs the private industry. I'm not being political one way or the other, but let me tell you, the way Medicare is set up right now, it needs to partner with private insurance companies and to put on the right Advantage program or the right supplement program. And Dennis is the man you need to talk to. What is your phone number and email again?
It's 559-917-4955. email is senioreducator@gmail.com. The other thing too about the supplement that I really like, because unfortunately as we mature, the body starts to break down.
Really?
Yeah, I know you wouldn't know about that. So I just found out I have a torn rotator cuff, so I'm gonna have to have surgery eventually. But I've been going to physical therapy, but most places physical therapy is not covered. And other certain sort of things. Chiropractor may or may not. Acupuncture may or may not. Some people have limitations.
I did acupuncture. I think I've talked to you about that.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? What do you got to lose? But it is covered by scans, so.
Right. So, I mean, in that case, why not try it? Might be surprised and it might work for you.
And I've got 2 surgeries coming up before the end of the year, but now we've been able to put it together as a combination. So it's kind of, think of it like, hamburger, fries, and a Coke all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it will be easy and some of it will be done with robotics. So, wow. Things have really moved ahead since the days I was born.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing too, with a supplement, and combine that with the reverse mortgage, you can get to the line of credit to help pay for the supplement.
Oh yeah.
And just have the best care that's out there.
Yeah, and the rest of it, that line of credit is just building up for your future use, no matter what.
That's
And I learned some good things from Dr. Ponder, but I'll save them because this is your part of the show. But I'll bring them out. It has to do with interest rates and how they affect us and how we look at them. Everybody wants the lowest interest rate possible, unless it's money for their investment or money for their bank account. Then they want as high as possible. So you got to look at it. Which side of the fence are you on? And you pretty much should be on the side that's looking for the higher rates and the higher returns, no matter what it's on. But that's enough. I promised I wouldn't.
The other thing too is there are some programs too. Like I saw a couple up in Madeira, which is just north of Fresno, about 30 minutes, and they have no transportation. So for them, they wanted to have a program that provided transportation. So there are a couple of options. For one, has 24 one-way trips up to 50 miles.
Wow.
Or the other program that just got added up above us is basically unlimited transportation.
Wow. So that person plus Joe Namath can get free rides to their health providers. I don't know. You may not see the Joe Namath ads there, but they're really pushing it here in LA.
I saw it the other day.
And Inland Empire area. Yeah.
So anyway, it's really key to, now is the time to really take a look, guys. We all get all these advertisements. We see TV ads about Medicare, so on and so forth. But it's really best to work with your local agent in the county, not a toll-free number that might be in the East Coast, doesn't have a clue about your county.
No, but you certainly have lived here in Southern California. You may be more central, but you are in the know, correct, for all these areas that were within radio reach of.
Yeah, it just depends on what Medicare health insurance that you're covered with. So I have 7 or 8 people I work with. So basically all of it is workable. It's just the difference is going to be the county, it's going to be the hospital, primary care, what group they're with and stuff like that. So it's really important because sometimes you might move from one county to another county that qualifies for them to revisit the program that they might have.
Yeah, I was last time before this episode. Last time I was in a hospital at 6 years old to have my tonsils out. And I still remember the dream I had when they put me to sleep. And when I was 21, I had hepatitis A. And I was in isolation for a short time. But that was over 50 years ago.
That was Pamplona, wasn't it?
That was what?
Pamplona?
No, it sounded like that was prison.
Oh, yeah.
We would and you were outside in your VW bus, but it sounded like it was Pomona Valley Hospital or whatever. And it had been well over 50 years since I've been in a hospital. I wasn't even thinking what hospital. What do I care what hospital they put? And
Crucial because sometimes they, like with Susie, they're living in Mission Viejo. She got sent way up in LA or Riverside to see a doctor or a specialist. So that's why it's really crucial to talk to your agent.
uh-huh.
And
We have only 1 minute. So
well, time goes so fast with
fast.
us. We're talking, Jay.
when you're having fun and we're talking about food and staying healthy enough to hit those buffets.
Absolutely.
But in this last minute, go ahead and give your info one more time.
Hey, Dennis the Menace Keithley. It's 559-917-4955. Email is senioreducator@gmail.com. Or you can also contact Jay. Jay has my details as well.
Both. And it is calm. It's just that, he was born out there in that California area, and they talk.
Did we say Ammons?
Yeah. But, thank you so much, Dennis. And everybody else, remember, call Dennis. Make sure you don't go blindly into Medicare like I did. I was lucky. Nothing happened to me in those first few years. But get your information. And remember that Kaplan will be here on the same corner in front of the cigar store next week. Take care of yourself, everybody. Remember, stay safe. Bye-bye. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.